You got to work harder on yourself than you do on your business. You got to work harder on yourself than you do your job.
So obviously you've built stuff, you've done some great things, crazy big things. What's some of your biggest advice to a young entrepreneur, somebody younger, hungry? You started when you were 25, built made millions when you were in your 20s. What are some things that you could give to somebody like in my position, or somebody that's really hungry, really driven, wants to go after it, doesn't know where to start though?
Start with yourself. Start with yourself. Start working on yourself. I've heard it ever since I got started in this space 11 years ago, and you got to work harder on yourself than you do on your business. You got to work harder on yourself than you do your job. So many people are focused on the outside world, the outer world, the tangible, the physical, right? And they're not concerned enough with the inner world, what's within, what's up here, what's in here.
Yeah.
You see these bodybuilders and these professional athletes that are getting sick and dying prematurely, and when you look at him on the surface, you think, man, this guy's he's built like a Greek god. He's probably one of the healthiest guys around. But on the inside, maybe he's got poor gut health, or maybe his heart's stressed or something like that. So it's don't focus so much on the outer things, focus more on within. If you're young, if you're brand new, if you're tuning into this right now, 16, 17, 18, 20, or 50, wherever you are in your walk of life, if you're hungry and Johnny, I mean, you and I have talked about this before. It's I don't know why I am the way I am, but dadgummit, I was meant to be somebody, right? We've got that fire down inside of us, and we don't know why, but we know we were meant to be something special. We know we were meant to be something more. And if you guys are on the line right now and you're tuning in, seeing this, and that's you, don't worry so much on what your opportunity is going to be. Don't focus so much on how you're going to get to the money or how you're going to get to the lifestyle. Focus more on the who. And that's the who you want to become, because that's gonna that without that, you'll never get there. Johnny, I had never made $1 million before I was 25 because I wasn't $1 million guy. I thought I was. I felt it. The hunger was there, but I wasn't. The truth of the matter, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. The reason I've never made $1 million a month yet, and it's coming, but the reason I've not gotten to $1 million in a month yet is because I'm still working on me. And when I get me to that level, that's when the outside world will transform to reflect who I am on the inside. So that's what I would give you to all the new people. I know that's kind of deep or philosophical or whatever, but bro, it really is the truth. You got to work harder on yourself. Start there.
Yeah. Start there, dude. Shoot. So do you have a morning routine right now, or what's some stuff to get your mindset ready for the day? What are some things that you do?
Yeah, my morning routine before I started, launching this other project on the side part-time in the solar space was, I'd get up, I'd do my reading, I'd do my gratitude, I'd do my reading, then I'd go fishing. But because I love to fish. But now it's just, I do a lot of reading. I do some journaling, do some gratitude. Before I get out of bed, I like to stretch while I'm in bed. So kind of like, bed yoga, if you will, doing a little stretch before I get out of bed, do some reading, get my mind right. Really, while I'm stretching, I'm really feeling the gratitude, really, really just grateful. That's the thing too, man. If you're on the line and you're feeling like, man, I don't, maybe you're going through a rough patch, maybe you're going through a tough spot and you're thinking, I don't have a whole lot to be grateful for. You opened your eyes, didn't you? You got, you woke up this morning, you woke up conscious, you could open your eyes and look around your bedroom. If you can just start there, being grateful the fact that you woke up, because guess what? There's hundreds of thousands of people that didn't this morning. So, count yourself lucky. And that just, even if you just start there with gratitude, I think gratitude is powerful. So I'm very, very big into first things first. Let's be grateful. Even if I'm going through a rough time and I don't feel like I've got a lot to be grateful for, I'm grateful that I at least opened my eyes this morning.
I love that, dude. I love that. Yeah, because if you're not focusing on your business, if you're not focusing on your personal development, right, it's so easy to let your work on you instead of you working on it, and you working on your business, you working on yourself. And I actually mentioned this in the last podcast, but like when you actually start working on yourself, that's where the true fortunes and freedom comes from. Instead of work, a lot of people work on the work, do the work for other people, but they're not working on themselves. And that's where the true financial freedom comes, the wealth comes from. I really love that you said that. And I'm not perfect by any means. Like in my morning routines, I still check social media. I still do that. But I think it's a constant explosive, like a constant like drive to get better every single day, get better day in and day out. How do you stay consistent? Like, how do you keep your mind level, your mindset level as crazy things might come and go, businesses that you really put all your time into come crashing down or whatever it looks like? How do you stay level throughout that whole thing and still keep going?
I think just, everything goes back to working on yourself, getting better. I'm of the mindset where I'll never be worse than I am right now. I'm sure there's going to be times where I mess up in life later, and you'll catch glimpses. I'll catch glimpses of my past self or whatever, but I'll never be worse than I am right now. Something that I do a lot of journaling, and something that I write down every single morning in my journal is, I am the most elite man in the world today. I am the most elite man in the world today. I write that on the top page of my journal every single day. And I think that in order to stay consistent, you obviously have to have a vision, not goals. I think vision is way more important. Goals are the stepping stones. That's the results of focusing and carrying out your vision. Goals are the short-term results of that vision focus. And as long as you've got a vision for where you want to go, or who you want to be, more importantly, who you want to be, and you take the consistent action steps for that, nothing will let you get down. You won't let anything get you down. I think that's the biggest thing, bro, is being vision focused and defining who it is that you want to be. Write down who you want to be. Yeah.
What's that for you?
I want to be in complete control. I want to be not complete control in a dysfunctional sort of way. I mean, complete control of my attitude, of my temperament, of what I do in my life. If I go to the store, I don't want to have to think about money to make a purchase decision based on price. Success to me is being able to do what I want, when I want, how I want, with who I want, and for why I want. So having that power, that's to me what the in-game vision would be. Me, I want 1,000 acres, somewhere of my own property, of my own land, where I can hunt and fish my own land, and build a dream house on my own land. I don't have that yet, and so my vision is strong enough to pull me in that direction. But I know that the only reason I don't have it is because I'm not the type of guy that has that yet. But I will be. Yeah, I will be. And it may not. And bro, and here's the truth of the matter, especially for the new guys that are listening on this call right now, the new guys and gals, what you're doing right now with your life, chances are won't be the thing that gets you to where you want to go. I learned that a long time ago. What you're doing right now, who you are right now, is definitely not the person that it's going to take to get you to your in-game vision. And guess what? What you're doing right now probably isn't going to be the thing that catapults you into that vision either. And here's the other thing. Once you get to that vision, if you've done it right, you're going to set your sights further past that eventually along the way. I remember my first goal was I wanted to get to 10 grand a month. And I did that relatively quick. But on the way, like by the time I had gotten to like 6-7 grand, I was like, shoot, I'm only about $3,000 from it. I'm gonna get to 20, right? So I never got to that vision of 10, because before I got to it, I had already changed my vision to 20, So doing it right, if you're working with, if you're working on yourself along the way, your vision's going to evolve with you, and then you're on the right track.
That is so good. It reminds me of what Alex Hormozy talks about in terms of like the system you put in place to be able to actually get there. And if you want to make $100,000, if you want to make $1 million, you're going to put $1 million system in place that you're probably gonna come up really short on. So you have to overshoot it like tremendously, and then you'll be able to actually reach that goal. So I love that. What's one nugget you could give as we wrap up here? I mean, this has been super valuable for me. I know so many other people listening to this are going to value like heavily huge from this. So I appreciate that. But what's one nugget you could leave us, or a few nuggets that you could leave us with that we could really enter into like, dang, all right, let's go. Or like whatever it is, what nuggets can you give us?
I would say, something that I learned a long time ago that has really, really stuck with me and really helped me in my journey is understanding that change is uncomfortable, right? It is. Change is uncomfortable, whether it's a divorce. I've gone through a divorce, whether it's career change. I've had a few of those. Change is uncomfortable, but change is inevitable. Life is about change. Think about it. Give me a 5-year period in your life where you didn't have a dramatic change at some point in a 5-year period. You can't. You had a dramatic change about every 5 years of your life. Change is inevitable. So since we know that change is inevitable, it's coming either way, why don't we choose the changes that we want? Why don't we just pick the changes that we want? Right?
Yeah.
When I figured that out, when I learned that, holy crap, this change is going to happen either way. It's inevitable. Life is an ever moving, ever flowing in one direction, right? The sea of change doesn't flow backwards. It's always moving forward, baby. The sea of time is always moving forward. And if we know that change is coming, when we can wake up to the realization that we ultimately have the control over what changes we want in our life, it becomes a beautiful thing. And I think that's probably the most important thing I can share. If we're going to wrap this thing up, the most important thing I can share is be intentional about the changes that you want in your life. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how to change it right now. I didn't, when I first got started in insurance, I didn't know how I was going to go out and go out and get to I had just lost a multiple 6-figure income. I needed to replace it fast as possible. Now I'm in insurance, a new world to me. And I just knew that I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew that I needed to replace that multiple 6-figure income quick.
Yeah.
And I just committed. So, I mean, you don't have to know how the change is going to happen. You just have to be willing to make it happen. And then, choose the change that you want, bro.
Yeah, that's so good, dude. Thank you so much for your time. How can people reach out to you if they're like, dude, this Josh guy is really awesome? How can they reach out to you and work
Facebook,
with you?
Instagram. Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Josh Wiles, W-Y as in yellow, L-E-S. Find me on Facebook or Instagram, Josh Wiles.
There we go. If you're trying to go from unknown to unforgettable, just make the change that's going to benefit you in the long run, not the short term, but the long term, and just know that it constantly flows forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tune in to the next one, because it's just we're becoming unforgettable, and you're following on the journey. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.